Hello students, welcome to my channel English Classes with Rashmi Rajput. Today we will discuss the poetry A Tiger in the Zoo written by Lelsey Norris from the English textbook First Flight, Class 10. The poet of this poetry is Lelsey Norris, who was a prize-winning poet and a short story writer. This poetry is based upon the theme Importance of Freedom for All the Living Creatures. Through this poetry, the poet contrasts a tiger in the zoo to the tiger in its natural habitat. In his natural surroundings, the tiger is happy and joyful, but in a cage, he is full of rage and trouble. Thus, the poetry shows a great importance of freedom. In first stanza, the poet says, "He stalks in his vivid stripes, the few steps of his cage, on the beds of velvet quiet, in his quiet rage." As you can see on your screen, that the rhyming scheme of this stanza is A, B, C, B. The words cage and rage at the end of second and fourth line are rhyming, therefore they have been given same alphabet B. And the other two lines are not rhyming, thus they are given different letters consecutively. In the stanza 1, the poet has conveyed that the tiger moves up and down in his cage. The stripes on his body are of strong, bright colors. The tiger moves quietly on his velvet soft paws. He is full of rage but is quiet because he knows that he is helpless here. In second stanza, the poet says, "He should be lurking in shadow, sliding through long grass, near the water hole where plum deer pass." The rhyming scheme of this stanza is again A, B, C, B. Looking at the imprisoned tiger, the poet is filled with pity. He says that a poor tiger should have been in his natural habitat. He should have been lying in the shadow of trees and sliding quietly through the long grass. There, near the water hole, he should be waiting for some fat deer to pass that way. Thus, he should be lying in their expectations of a heavy feast. But it's a pity that such a powerful, agile, and untamable animal is caged in a zoo. Further, in the third stanza, the poet says, "He should be snarling around houses at the jungle's edge, baring his white fangs, his claws, terrorizing the village." The rhyming scheme of this stanza is A, B, C, D, as there is no rhyming word by the end of any line of the stanza. The poet here gives a hint that if we destroy the natural habitat of tigers, they will be forced to turn to our towns and villages to find their food. He says that the tiger should be growling at the edge of jungle near a village. He should be showing his white fangs and claws while moving here and there. He should thus become a cause of terror for the villagers. In the fourth stanza, the poet again refers to the caged tiger and says, "But he is locked in a concrete cell. His strength behind bars is stalking the length of his cage, ignoring visitors." The rhyming scheme of this stanza is A, B, C, D. The poet refers to the locked tiger in a concrete cell. In spite of all his strength, he lies imprisoned behind the bars. Very slowly and silently, he moves up and down along the length of the cage. He takes no note of the visitors who come to the zoo to have a look at him, and he ignores those visitors. In the last stanza, the poet says, "He hears the last voice at night, the patrolling cars, and stares with his brilliant eyes at the brilliant stars." The rhyming scheme of this stanza is A, B, C, B. In these lines, the poet refers to the tiger as he. According to the poet, The tiger knows no rest during the day because of the visitors. Even at night, he remains disturbed due to the noise of the patrolling cars. He keeps staring at brilliant stars with his brilliant eyes. Perhaps he is asking heaven why he has been imprisoned there. His brilliant eyes show that he still hopes for the day when he would be able to run free in the forest. Through this poetry, the poet has made an important point about wildlife conservation. The tiger belongs to the forest. There, it can hunt as and when required. It hunts not out of envy or out of hatred, as human beings do, but only as a survival strategy. His presence in the natural habitat is necessary to maintain the balance of the food chain. Humans believe that the tiger is dangerous, but in fact, humans cause danger to the natural habitat of wild animals and cage them for their selfish purposes. The poetry also highlights that freedom is a natural instinct for all the living creatures. The literary devices used in the poetry are metaphor, as tiger's paws are compared with velvet in the phrase beds of velvet. Enjambment, as sentences are continuing to the next line without any punctuation mark. Oxymoron, by using adjectives opposite in meaning, such as quiet rage to express tiger's anger in the cage. The poet has also used onomatopoeia, which means using words which denote sound, such as snarling. Next is personification, as the tiger is personified because the poet refers it as he. Repetition is also used by the poet in the phrases such as velvet, quiet, quiet rage, and brilliant eyes, brilliant stars. And the next is alliteration, which means repeated sound at the beginning of different words, such as P in plum pass, sound of S in stocks, stripes, and the sound of C in concrete cell. And that's all about this poetry, A Tiger in the Zoo. Hope you find it fruitful and easy to understand. Thank you for watching this video. Happy learning to you all.